Hello everyone, my name is Varun Arora. I am Assistant Professor at Department of Mechanical Engineering, Chandigarh Engineering College, Landra, Mohali, Punjab. Today I am going to deliver a talk on the topic Mechanical Measurements and Metrology. As its name suggests, this talk is going to be about the mechanical measurements and mechanical instruments, measuring instruments. In this we will discuss what are the major measuring instruments and how to use them. Let's discuss about measuring instrument. If in our daily life we use measuring instruments, for example, if anybody wants to measure the height of his child, he needs some measuring instrument for that. If you want to do some woodwork, you also need a measuring instrument for that. These are the general application measuring instruments, but for the engineering application, measuring instruments are quite different and they needs to be very precise and some care should be taken to use them while using them. So the most commonly used precision measuring instruments are vernier caliper, micrometers, pressure gauges, and some other measuring instruments. In the coming video, we will discuss about these measuring instruments, their different parts, how to use them, what are their least count, and their application. The first measuring instrument I will like to talk about is vernier caliper. This is one of the most commonly used measuring instrument. Its major components are listed here. You can find this measuring instrument in each and every industry, whether it can be a small workshop or a big manufacturing plant. You can find its different version at different places, but the basic working principle is same. There are different companies which make these instruments. So the first major component is main scale. As you can see here, this scale is a main scale. It has two type of graduations on it. One is in mm, other is in inches, and there is a jaw attached to it. This is known as a fixed jaw. This scale is going all the way from here and it attached to this jaw. So this is a main scale. It has some ways, slides on which this vernier scale slides on this. Okay. Now there comes a vernier scale. This part is known as vernier scale. This is a movable scale. It basically slides above the main scale. There is a one jaw attached to this scale, this also, and this is known as, this is a fixed jaw. I'm talking about this. This is a vernier scale, this one. This is the main scale here, and these are the external jaws. So there are two jaws. One is fixed, one is movable. Fixed is attached to the main scale, and movable is attached to the vernier scale. And this set of jaws is known as external jaws. As its name suggests, these jaws are used for the measurement of external dimensions. For example, outer diameter of anything, or outer dimension of any rectangular object can also be measured with the use of them. And there is another set of jaws known as internal jaws. These are internal jaws which are written over here. These jaws are used in the similar way. One internal jaw is attached to vernier scale, another internal jaw is attached to the main scale. One is movable, one is fixed, and this set of jaws is known as internal jaws. These are used for measurement of internal dimension like internal diameter of a cylinder. There is another thing, metal strip. As you move the vernier scale out to the right side, this strip will come out, and this strip is used for the measurement of depths. For example, measurement of depth of a cylinder. There are some other components which are not listed here. One is this knob. This one. This knob is used for sliding the vernier above on the main scale. There is a locking nut to lock a vernier scale at particular point. These are the major component of vernier scale. Now we talk about the working principle. In vernier caliper, no length of equal number of divisions on the main scale is compared to the vernier scale of same length. What happened actually is, you can say here, circle marked out, these are 49 divisions and these are 50 divisions. So 49 divisions on main scale are compared with the 50 divisions of vernier scale. What happened actually here is, least count of main scale is 1 mm, means the minimum dimension which we can measure using a main scale or normal scale is 1 mm. As you know that we cannot measure a length less than 1 mm using a normal scale. So the least count of a main scale, the main scale is also a normal scale, is 1 mm. Whereas on vernier scale, we have divided 50 mm, 49 mm into 50 divisions. So its least count is less. So now what we do, we'll compare these 49 divisions with 50 divisions. These 50 divisions are on the vernier scale and 49 divisions are on the main scale. By comparing these two things, we can find out the least count of this equipment. So what is the working principle? Just the comparison of these two things. So 50 divisions on vernier scale are equal to 49 division on main scale. 1 division on vernier scale is equal to 0.9 mm. How we come to know about that? Because total length of the vernier scale is 49 mm and we have divided those 49 mm into 50 divisions. So if we divide 49 by 50, it comes out to be 0.98 mm. So length of a division is 0.98. Here it is 1 mm. On main scale it's 1 mm. On vernier scale it's 0.98. Now least count. Now how we'll find out the least count? One main scale division is equal to 1 mm. We have already discussed it in the last slide. One division on main scale is equal to 50 division on main scale is equal to 50. Oh, I have written it wrong here. Basically, it is here. It is vernier. Here it is vernier. I have written 50 division on vernier scale is equal to 49 division on main scale. So one main vernier scale is equal to. So if you, there are some typing error over here, just neglected. I am going to tell you about it. So 50 divisions on the vernier scale are equal to 49 division on the main scale. Now, in order to find out the least count, what we are doing, we are 1 division on main scale is equal to 1 mm. 1 division on the vernier scale will be length of 1 division 49 divided by 50. So it comes out to be 0.02 mm. This is the least count of a vernier caliper. Means we can measure a dimension as less as 0.02 mm using a vernier caliper. So this is the least count. Okay. Now how to read a vernier caliper? हम वर्नियर कैलिपर को रीड कैसे करेंगे? हमारे पास रीडिंग तो आ गई, लीस्ट काउंट भी पता चल गया, हमें इसके मेजर कंपोनेंट भी पता लग गए, बट हाउ विल यू रीड दिस इंस्ट्रूमेंट? we'll take the help of this figure to understand how we are going to read this vernier caliper. This vernier caliper is logged at some point. If we see here, the 0 on the vernier scale has passed 23rd division on the, sorry, just wait for a second. The 0 on the vernier scale has passed 23rd division of the main scale. So our main scale reading here is 23, which is written over here. The main scale reading is 23. Now we have to find out the vernier scale reading. So then we have to find out which line of vernier scale is coinciding with the main scale. In this case, this where it is written 4th, this line is this line of a vernier scale is coinciding with the main scale line. So we have to count it. So there are from 0 to 1 there are 5 divisions, 1 to 2 there are 5 divisions, and so on. So if we count from 0 to 4, these are 20 divisions. So vernier scale reading will be 20 into least count. So it comes out to be 23.40 mm. I'll repeat it again. First of all, main scale reading. वेव स्केल रीडिंग हमें कैसे पता लगेगी कि वर्नियर स्केल का 0 किस लाइन को क्रॉस कर रहा है? इस केस में वो 20th, 23rd और 24th लाइन के बीच में लाई कर रहा है. तो देन इन दिस केस आवर वर्नियर मेन स्केल रीडिंग इज 23. So then the vernier scale reading, then we'll find out the coinciding line between the vernier scale and the main scale. So here it is 4th. So this line is basically, these are 20 divisions from 0. So this is 20 into 0.02, it comes out to be 23.40 mm. This is how we read a vernier caliper. These things are also very important in relation to vernier caliper. What is the clearance adjustment? As you can see from this figure, there is some gap here. There is a block named as wear block which is placed in this. Due to the regular use and wear tear, sometimes this wear block get weared out. And there comes a play. There is a slackness between the main scale and the vernier scale in that case. And there are 2 screws placed here. One screw is here. Just wait. One screw is here and another screw is here. By adjusting these screws, we can adjust the clearance between the vernier scale and main scale. So there is a wear block here which get weared due to the continuous use of the measuring instrument, and because of the wear there is some clearance between the vernier scale and the main scale, and with the help of these screws we can adjust that clearance. So this is about the clearance adjustment. Then comes the zero error. This is also a very important thing related to vernier caliper. When we close the vernier caliper, when the jaws of the external jaws of the vernier caliper are intact, when they are touching each other, these zero of vernier scale and the zero of main scale has to be coinciding actually. But as you can see here, they are not coinciding. Zero of the vernier scale is slightly right to the zero of the main scale, which means there is some zero error in this instrument. And if we are going to use this instrument for any measurement, that error is also going to be incorporated into that reading. So we have to remove that error. What we do in that case, we find out the zero error in that instrument. After finding out the error, हम क्या करते हैं कि जो हम रीडिंग लेते हैं उसमें वो एरर वैल्यू कंपनसेट कर देते हैं. Now, if the zero of a vernier scale is at the right of the zero of the main scale zero, in that case the error is known as positive zero error. If zero lies in the left side of the zero of the main scale, of zero of the vernier scale, that error is known as negative zero error. So in this case, if we see which line is coinciding with this, I think this 3 is coinciding with this line. So multiplying 3 with the least count of this instrument, we can find out the its zero error value. I think, yeah, on this slide you can see it is in relation to the last figure we were talking about this figure. You can see here that as per this, the fifth division, 1 2 3 4 5, the division between 2 and 3 actually exactly coinciding division is between 2 and 3. This is a fifth division if we count from here, 1 2 3 4 5, the division between 2 and 3. So in order to find the zero error, what we have to do, with the jaws closed, identify which line of vernier scale and the main scale are coinciding. In this case it's fifth line. Now in order to calculate the error value, multiply 5 with the least count. So the least count of this instrument is 0.05 mm. So what we have to do here is we have to multiply this 5 with 0.05, which is a least count. After multiplying this, we will come to know about the zero error of this particular instrument. Though here it's written here also, 0.25 mm comes out to be the zero error of the vernier caliper. It's a positive zero error. Why it's a positive zero error? Because zero of the vernier scale is lying right of the zero of the main scale when both the jaws are closed. That's why it's a positive error. Therefore 0.25 mm should be subtracted from the taken measurement to get the exact result. In order to get the exact result, we need to minus this value from the each and every reading which we are taking with this instrument. Now, how to use the vernier caliper? I have incorporated 2 videos here for your reference. So this video is going to be about how to use external jars for the measurement of outer dimensions. This video will be about the using of the internal jaws for taking the internal dimensions. I'm going to play the first video now.
Now let me show how
now you can see here how outer jars are used for making the outer dimensions, measuring the outer dimensions.
The outside diameter of which I have to measure. So we have to hold the workpiece between the 2 jaws.
Now what is being done here? These 2 jars are being moved with the help of this null knob. The user is moving this jaw and he is using it is recommended to use the center portion of the jaws for taking the measurement. It is not recommended to use the extreme end of the jaws. After tightening the jaws on the surface which you want to measure, now he is clamping it. The jaws has been locked. After locking the jaws, now we are going to read the measuring instrument or for the exact value. In this video,
caliper,
you can see
use the jaws meant for
user is using the internal jaws meant for taking the internal dimensions. The things to be taken care of here is कि जो ये jaws हैं ये इसके diameter पे ही lie करें, हम इसको कहीं और जगह पे reading ना लें. So that you need to be careful while taking the such type of readings by using internal jaws here. By using the null knob, the user is moving the vernier caliper outward in order to take the internal dimension of this cylindrical object. Now he's taking a reading. In this case, you can see here 0 of the vernier scale is coinciding with the 0 of the main scale. Therefore, its value is exactly 20 mm. Its value is exactly 20 mm because 0 of the vernier scale is coinciding with the 2 of the main scale. So in this case, there is no need to show the other coinciding lines. The value is exactly 20 mm here. Now we'll move further. Now, there are other types of vernier caliper also. The first one is dial caliper, digital caliper. Now, the picture on the left side shows dial caliper. It had an advantage over the vernier caliper. With this, there is no need to find the coinciding lines. The resolution on the dial is 0.02 mm, which means distance between the graduation is 0.02. When we move the vernier scale linearly, if your scale moves, dial gauge move from 0 to next division, means कि हमने vernier caliper को 0.02 mm राइट या लेफ्ट में मूव करा है. So इसमें हमें कोई कंसाइडिंग डिवीजन ढूंढने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती. That's why it's quite easy to use this instrument in comparison to normal vernier caliper. This is known as dial caliper. What we have done here, we have placed the dial instead of a vernier scale here. Another one is a digital caliper. This is very easy to use. It has a LCD display. It has an on-off switch button. It has button to make for zero reading, and it has a button to convert the reading from mm to inches, metric to inches. These are the buttons on that. Basically, this is an electronic device. It has a capacitive sensor on it. ये जो हमारी स्ट्रिप है ना, मेन स्केल है, इसके अंदर कैपेसिटिव सेंसर होता है. जब हम इसके ऊपर वर्नियर स्केल को मूव करते हैं तो उसकी मूवमेंट को सेंसर सेंस करता है और उसे डिस्प्ले करता है एलईडी स्क्रीन के ऊपर. सो दिस इज अ डिजिटल कैलिपर. दिस इज वेरी इजी टू रीड. देयर इज नो नीड टू फाइंड आउट विच लाइन इज कंसाइडिंग और वेयर डायल इज. इट विल शो यू द एग्जैक्ट रीडिंग ऑन द एलसीडी डिस्प्ले or LED display. There are few points about the care and maintenance of the vernier caliper. I'm gonna read those points for you. The contact surface of the job and the caliper should be clean. जब भी हमें वर्नियर कैलिपर यूज़ करना है, हमें सबसे पहले ये ध्यान रखना है कि जॉब जिस सरफेस को हमें मेजर करना है वो क्लीन हो. वर्नियर कैलिपर के जॉज जो है वो क्लीन हो. ऑल द सरफेस हैज़ टू बी नीट एंड क्लीन. अगर वो क्लीन नहीं होंगे तो डस्ट की वजह से भी देयर विल बी सम एरर. सेकेंड इज zero error should be checked frequently. Yes, these instrument needs to be calibrated time upon time, but other than calibration, user should check the instrument on daily basis for zero error. कि उसमें कुछ zero error तो नहीं है. अगर वो error है या तो उसे calibrate करवाया जाए. Otherwise, you need to find out that zero error and compensate that error into each and every reading in order to find out the exact value or the exact reading. The job should be stationary, obviously. If the job is moving, we'll not able to take the reading properly. The last point is there should be appropriate light and if required, use of magnifying glass. This is applicable for the normal vernier caliper. In case of a dial caliper or digital caliper, there is no need of more light there. But if you are using a normal caliper, in that case, you need to find the coinciding lines. In that case, sufficient light has to be there. If you are not able to identify the lines, then use of magnifying glass is also recommended in some cases. This is all about the vernier caliper. Now there is an example for you, question for you to do. Here is a simple question for self-assessment. I am going to take some pause for some time. Please look carefully and note down your answer. I will show the answer at the end of this video. Just look at this slide. There is this problem for you. You need to find out the exact value. You need to read this vernier caliper. What is the value here? There are 4 options for you. You need to find out where it is lying, whether the reading is 13.4 to 13.5 to 32. Just I'm going to take a pause for a few seconds in order to कि आप इसे आराम से देख के इसे समझ पाएं और वैल्यू आइडेंटिफाई कर पाएं इसकी क्या है. the next instrument we'll study is vernier height gauge. Its working principle is somewhat similar to vernier caliper, but its construction is different and its application is also different. Now, let's wait for a second. The picture shows here a vernier height gauge. It consists of a graduated scale held in a vertical precision by a firmly ground fixed base. So what happens is there is a base. बेस के ऊपर क्या है कि हमारा एक वर्नियर जो मेन स्केल है वो इसके ऊपर फिक्स है. इट इज़ यूज टू मेजर वर्टिकल डायमेंशन फ्रॉम रेफरेंस ग्राउंड. व्हाट आई मीन टू से हियर इज कि दिस इंस्ट्रूमेंट इज रिकमेंडेड टू बी यूज्ड ऑन सरफेस प्लेस. दिस इज सरफेस प्लेस इज बेसिकली अ प्लेट फॉर टेकिंग द मेजरमेंट्स. तो ये रिकमेंडेड है कि इसको हम सरफेस प्लेट के ऊपर रख के ही यूज़ करें. तो जो हमारा रेफरेंस है डेटम सरफेस उस केस में वो होगा, वो क्या होगा, हमारा सरफेस प्लेट होगी. इट्स वर्किंग प्रिंसिपल इज सिमिलर टू वर्नियर कैलिपर एंड हैज़ द लीस्ट काउंट ऑफ 0.02 mm. I have told you earlier its working principle is similar to vernier caliper and least count of 0.02 mm. Least count can be different depending upon the vernier scale, but generally it's 0.02 mm. The base here provided is very strong. ये काफ़ी strong होता है because इसको इसके weight को संभालना है कि this is a very firm base here. There is a carbide scriber here. This is a carbide tip scriber. You can see here that the color of this thing is different. This is dark black here. So this is a carbide scriber. Carbide scriber is fixed to the measuring jaw wire clamp. This is the clamp. With the help of this clamp, this jaw is fixed with the vernier scale here. There are two screws on the vernier scale. Firstly, we have to tighten the upper screw, this screw, in order to take any reading. We have to place object here, then we have to move this scale. When this scriber will touch the object, then we have to lock this upper screw. Then we have to rotate the second screw. The second screw is used to do the fine adjustments basically. हमें इसे लॉक करने के बाद फिर हम इसे इसे यूज़ करने के बाद हम सेकंड वाले स्क्रू को घुमाते हैं ताकि हम उसकी फाइन एडजस्टमेंट कर पाएँ. इट इज़ फॉर देयर आर टू स्क्रूज, फर्स्ट इज फॉर लॉकिंग एंड अदर इज फॉर द फाइन एडजस्टमेंट. And in some cases what happens is we replace this scriber with dial caliper, lever type dial gauge, or in some it is also known as puppy dial. तो puppy dial या फिर lever type gauge के साथ हम इसे replace कर देते हैं. Then we use this instrument. So there are multiple applications. I'm also going to show you the video where we have replaced this height gauge with the puppy dial or lever type gauge. So its range varies from 0 to 300 mm. So here you can see here height gauge with lever type dial indicator. I'm going to play a video for you here. So I'm going to pause the video here. What has been done here, that the scriber of the height gauge has been replaced by the dial indicator. Now with the help of this device you can find the deviation in that particular the object we are measuring. I'll play a video for you here. You can see that the needle on the dial gauge is moving. So here you can find the deviation from the values on the job are varying from which point. At which point it is maximum, at which point it is minimum. So it can be used in this manner also. There is another application with the use of this attachment. We can also use height gauge as a comparator. As the name suggests, comparator is something which does not make the readings. It does not take the readings. It is used to compare the things, the height of something. तो इसमें हम क्या करते हैं कि इसको एक जगह पे फिक्स करके स्लिप गेजेस यूज़ करके हम इसकी वैल्यू किसी पॉइंट पे इसी को लॉक कर लेते हैं. फिर उस पॉइंट पे हम किसी और जो ऑब्जेक्ट हमने मैन्युफैक्चर किया है उसको कंपेयर करते हैं वेदर इट इज़ बिटवीन द रेंज और नॉट. दैट इज़ कंपैरेटर. तो देयर आर टू एप्लीकेशंस by the use of a lever type dial indicator on height gauge. One is to find out the deviations, another is to use it as a comparator. There is a third version of a height gauge also. This is digital height gauge. So as you can see from this figure, there is a LCD display here, there is a on off button here. So it is very common, similar to digital vernier caliper. So this is very easy to use. the working principle is same. It is also a sensor based device having capacitive sensor. The movement of this head is sensed by the sensor and displayed on the LED screen. There is also a rotation wheel provided. इस wheel को rotate करके हम इसे ऊपर नीचे move कर सकते हैं for the convenience purpose. These are 2-3 type of digital height gauges. Now next instrument we are going to study is a micrometer. This is also very widely used and is measuring instrument. You can find this instrument in each and every industry. This instrument is more accurate in comparison to vernier caliper because its least count is less in comparison to vernier caliper. There is an exploded view of the micrometer is shown here. There are some parts listed here. We are going to discuss each and every part and for your reference. The first part is this frame. This frame is made up of a steel and on the scale there is a heat insulation provided. Heat insulation क्या है? Basically एक हमने यहाँ पे प्लास्टिक की कोटिंग कर दी है on the SS. The purpose here is when user is using this device, जब वो अपने हाथ में इस डिवाइस को पकड़ता है, due to its body temperature there can be a expansion in the frame. उसकी वजह से जो measurements हैं वो disturb हो सकते हैं. So it is recommended to hold this device from this plastic base. It is not recommended to touch the metal part. So we have a frame here, we have a heat insulation here, and these are the measuring faces. Measuring faces are provided with carbide tips. This is very important. The flatness and the parallelism between these measuring faces or tips is very important. So they needs to be checked on time. इन दोनों की जो parallelism है वो 1 micron से हमेशा नीचे होनी चाहिए and the flatness is also in that range also. Parallelism and flatness between these two faces, measuring faces, and other things. These faces are provided with the carbide tips. तो वैसे तो ये SS का है but इसकी जो tips है वो हमें कार्बाइड की होती हैं. Why? Because these are subjected to wear and tear. तो wear and tear, carbide is a very hard material. That's why we have replaced the SS with the carbide here. There is a spindle. Basically this device work on the principle of a nut and bolt. So when we move a bolt inside a nut, with each rotation there is also a linear movement. This principle is used in this device. I am going to show you a video. After that you will able to understand its working principle.
Principle of the micrometer screw. When an accurately cut single threaded screw is placed inside a closely fitted nut and principle of the micrometer screw. When an accurately cut single.
What is happening here is there are very accurately, very precisely cut thread on a shaft, and this shaft is rotated inside this sleeve. So when we rotate this, there is a rotation also, and there is a linear movement also. The pitch of these threads is generally 0.5 mm. Means after every rotation of 360 degrees, this device will enhance 0.5 mm towards the left side.
Principle of the micrometer screw. When an accurately cut single threaded screw is placed inside a closely fitted nut and rotated, we can see two types of motions. There is a circular motion along with the linear motion of the screw along its axis. This distance moved by the screw in one complete rotation is equal to the distance between its two consecutive threads. This distance is called the pitch, which is always constant. Thus, the small linear distances moved by the screw are amplified into larger distances by the rotation of the screw. These rotations can be easily measured. Thus, the screw gauge is constructed in such a way that it incorporates the principle of the micrometer screw. In addition to the screw and the nut, a U-shaped frame is attached at one end of the nut. This nut is also called the sleeve and has readings on it.
Okay. Now we'll go to the last slide which we are talking about. Now you can see here, this is a threaded part like a bolt here, and this is a sleeve. We have internal threads on this sleeve, and when we rotate this thimble, this nut will move, this bolt will move inside this bolt, and this is further attached to this spindle, and this is further attached to the measuring faces. हम इस थिम्बल को रोटेट करेंगे, थिम्बल को रोटेट करने के साथ हमारी शाफ्ट जो है वो टू एंड फ्रो इसमें मूव करेगी, और हमें ये फेसिस को यूज़ करना है मेजरमेंट करने के लिए। इस अदर डिवाइसेस अदर कंपोनेंट्स आर लॉकिंग नट। जब हमने जॉब को क्लैम्प कर लिया उसके बाद हम इसको लॉक करेंगे, देयर आफ्टर विल रिमूव द जॉब फ्रॉम दिस डिवाइस। There is a outer sleeve, there are markings done on the outer sleeve, these markings are known as main readings. There are marking on the thimble also, and there is a ratchet mechanism provided. In order to put the desired pressure on the job, it is not recommended that you should screw the job tightly. You have to use this ratchet mechanism. After every 2-3 clicks, जब आप ratchet को use करोगे 2 click की आवाज आएगी. After 2 or 3 clicks, the job has been clamped into this. You have to assume that it has been clamped. Don't use thimble to tight a job. Thimble is for the major movement, this is for the minor movement. But हमें ratchet को use करना है job को tight करने के लिए, ताकि वो bearing pressure है जो हमारा वो जितना हमें चाहिए उतना रहे. Otherwise there can be a deviation in the reading if you use thimble instead of ratchet. These are the major component. I think we have covered all the component. Index line. There is a straight line, horizontal line, which will be clear to you in the coming picture. That line is known as indexing line. No. Now least count of the micrometer. As I had told you earlier, least count is a reading which a measuring instrument is a minimum reading which a measuring instrument can measure. In case of a vernier caliper, its least count was 0.02 mm. But the least count of micrometer is 0.01 mm actually, means it is twice as accurate as vernier caliper. Micrometer least count means the smallest increment figure that the micrometer scale provides. It is also the smallest thickness or length that can be measured. Now what is least count? Basically it is a pitch length divided by the total graduation on the thimble scale. So as I told you, the pitch length is 0.5 mm. The pitch of the screw is, जो हमने इसमें threaded screw use किया है उसका pitch है 0.5 mm. Means after every 360 degrees rotation it will advance by 0.5 mm. And you can see from this figure here कि इसके ऊपर जो this is known as thimble. The number of divisions on the thimble are 50. When you divide 0.5 mm by 50, you will come to know about its least count. I have done the same here. LC stands for least count, P is the pitch, N is the number of divisions on the thimble. So our pitch is 0.5 mm, 0.5 mm divided by 50 comes out to be 0.01 mm. This is a least count of a micrometer basically. There are different types of micrometers having different least counts. For example, if the pitch is 1 mm and the number of divisions on the thimble is 100, in that case also it comes out to be 0.01 mm. एक तीसरा केस कंसिडर करते हैं कि जिसमें पिच आपकी 0.5 mm है बट आपने थिम्बल के ऊपर जो डिविजन्स है वो 100 कर रखी है, उस केस में जो आपकी लीस्ट काउंट आ जाएगा 0.005 mm हो जाएगा. दिस इज मोर एक्यूरेट, ट्वाइस एज एक्यूरेट एज दिस द डिवाइस आई हैड शोन यू अर्लियर. So this is the way to find out pitch. I'll repeat it again for you. Look here on this picture, this center line is known as indexing line, जो एक horizontal line बीच में जा रही है. Sorry. हाँ, this line center line जो इसके अंदर जा रही है, this is the indexing line. There are two type of reading. जो हमारी sleeve है जो अंदर जो दिख रही है आपको, इस sleeve के ऊपर जो divisions है उसे हम बोलते हैं main scale. और जो thimble है हमारा, इसके ऊपर हमें ये हमारी अलग दिस इज थिम्बल विद रोटेटिंग वर्नियर स्केल. ये हमारा वर्नियर स्केल है, ये हमारा मेन स्केल है. जो ऊपर वाला है ऑन द स्केल ऑन द थिम्बल इज अ वर्नियर स्केल एंड स्केल ऑन द स्लीव इज अ मेन स्केल. सो नंबर ऑफ डिविजन्स ऑन अ थिम्बल आर 50 इन दिस केस. और व्हेन यू रोटेट दिस थिम्बल बाय 360, दिस स्पिंडल विल एडवांस 0.5 mm. दैट्स व्हाई its pitch is 0.5 mm. We are dividing pitch by number of divisions on the thimble here. So 0.5 divided by 50 comes out to be 0.01 mm. This is the reading, minimum reading, which we can measure using this device. So that's why it's known as least count. I have discussed 3 cases of least count here. In the second case, 1 mm divided by 100, and third is 0.5 divided by 100. Okay, this is a zoom in view of this in order for you to understand properly. This is the same kind of thing, but इसमें थोड़ा zoom कर रखा है हमने कि आप इसे अच्छे से देख के समझ पाओ कि क्या क्या component है इसके. ठीक है. Now, how to use a micrometer? With the help of these 3-4 figures, I'll try to explain how to use this device. Number one is rotate the thimble to until spindle touches the workpiece. First of all, we have to rotate this. There is a knurled portion on this thimble. We have to rotate this thimble until that time, जब तक हमारी ये दोनों जो हमारी एनविल्स हैं अपना ये आपस में टच नहीं कर जाती हैं हमारी. After that, जब when it's gonna touch the part, then we have to use the ratchet mechanism. After the spindle touches the workpiece, rotate the ratchet to apply uniform pressure. The third step is to lock the spindle. Then remove the part from the vernier caliper and take the measurements. These are the 4 steps. Number 1 is rotate the thimble. Number 2 is after the anvil touches your workpiece, then rotate the ratchet, then lock the shafts, and then remove the job and take the readings. This is the 4-step process. Now, how to read a micrometer? This is quite tricky. मैं आपको ये थोड़ा समझाने की कोशिश करता हूँ ये कैसे होता है. देखिए, ये सेंटर में जो लाइन है ने आपको पहले बताया, दिस इज अ इंडेक्सिंग लाइन. सो देयर आर रीडिंग्स अबव एंड बिलो द इंडेक्सिंग लाइन. Here you can see 0, 1, 2, 3, 5. It's marked here 5. There are 0 to 5. There are 5 divisions. But this means 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, and 0.5 mm. But in between these two readings, there are also readings in below the indexing line. So here it is 0.5, 0.0. It is half of this. So what we have to do, we have to measure the above readings, reading below the. Reading above the indexing line, reading below the indexing line, and the vernier scale reading. So we'll consider this case. So as you can see here, कि this जो हमारा है कि थिम्बल हमारी किसको क्रॉस कर रखी है 5, 6, 7. तो हमारी होल रीडिंग हो जाएगी उसमें 7 हो जाएगी. और इसके बाद अगर देखिए 7 के बाद एक रीडिंग और है, आपको दिख रहा होगा, दिस इज 7.5. तो आपकी हाफ रीडिंग यहाँ पे क्या आ जाती है 0.5 mm. और जो इंडेक्सिंग लाइन के साथ आपकी वर्नियर स्केल की लाइन कंसेक्ट कर रही है वो कौन सी है 20, 21st एंड 22nd. तो रीडिंग ऑन द थिम्बल इज 22. नाउ वेयर इज, तो वी नीड टू ऐड ऑल द 3, होल रीडिंग, हाफ रीडिंग एंड रीडिंग ऑन द थिम्बल. आवर होल रीडिंग इज 7, हाफ रीडिंग इज 0.5 एंड रीडिंग ऑन द थिम्बल इज 22.22. बेसिकली इस 22 को हमने क्या करा, हमने लीस्ट काउंट से मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया. नंबर जो हमारी थिम्बल के ऊपर रीडिंग होगी उसको हमें लीस्ट काउंट से मल्टीप्लाई करना है और उसमें ऐड कर देना है. आई विल रिपीट इट अगेन फॉर यू. सबसे पहले हमने क्या देखना है कि जो हमारी मेन स्केल की रीडिंग कितनी है, फुल रीडिंग कौन सी है, होल रीडिंग. तो हमारी होल रीडिंग यहाँ पे कितनी बन रही है 5, 6, 7. देयर इज ऑल्सो हाफ रीडिंग इन, तो वो हमारी कौन सी है 7 यहाँ तक हो गया, 0.5 ये हो गया. तो होल रीडिंग 7, इट इज़ 0.5 एंड 22nd लाइन इज कंसाइडिंग विद द इंडेक्सिंग लाइन. तो वर्नियर रीडिंग हमारी 22 हो गई. नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू मल्टीप्लाई 22 विद 0.01 एंड गोइंग टू ऐड ऑल द 3. देन विल कम टू अ आंसर. ओके, नाउ जीरो एरर. Similar to vernier caliper, there is a zero error in micrometers also. What is a zero error? When the anvil and the spindle of micrometer screw gauge are made to touch each other, then the zero in the main scale index line should match the zero on the circular scale. I'll try to show you with the help of earlier figures. Means this face and this face. Anvil के दोनों face हैं, जब आपस में touch कर रहे होंगे without a job, then this zero on the indexing line should coincide with the zero on the vernier scale. ये दोनों जीरो आपस में मैच करनी चाहिए. If these zeros are not coinciding, that means there is some zero error in the instrument. And this zero error can be positive, can be negative. दोनों में से कोई भी हो सकता है. But हमें ये identify करना है. Before taking a reading, you should make a habit that firstly you will check a zero error in the instrument. Okay. Now, if the zero on the thimble lies below the indexing line or zero of the main scale, in that case it is a positive error. And if the zero on the thimble lies above, here you can say it is above the zero. From this figure you can see zero on the thimble is above the zero of the main scale or the indexing line, then this is a negative error. Now how to calculate this error? We have calculated this error, but in order to get the right results we need to compensate this result to the recorded value. हमने कोई रीडिंग ले ली, हमें पता है कि इस वर्नियर कैलिपर में एरर है, तो उस एरर को हमने उस मेजर्ड रीडिंग में से या तो माइनस करना है या तो प्लस करना है उसमें. but firstly we need to find out the exact value, whether we have to minus it or add it. So अगर हम यहाँ से देखें, the zero, the division on the thimble which is coinciding with the zero on the main scale is the second division. So 2 multiplied by the least count of this device. As we have shown, least count of a micrometer is 0.01. So 2 multiplied by 0.01 comes out to be 0.02 mm. This is a positive error. This error needs to be subtracted from the recorded reading. In this case, you can see this is the line of the thimble coinciding with the zero is 46th actually. You can say that it is 45, it is 46. But we are not going to take 46 here. हमने देखना है कि ये जीरो से कितनी दूर है. This is not 46, this is 50 minus 46. In case of a negative zero error, you need to minus the line which is coinciding with the zero or indexing or line of the main scale from 50. So here it is 46, but we have to minus 46 from 50. That will come out to be 4 and multiply it with the least count, then you will get the नेगेटिव जीरो एरर. नेगेटिव लेने के लिए हमें जो हमारी वैल्यू है उसे 50 में से माइनस करना होगा. These are the values of the zero error. Now there is one method to remove the zero error. One thing is that we have found out the zero error. Now we are going to compensate that zero error from each reading we are going to take. But there is an option for the adjustment of the zero error. This is as you can see here from this device, there is some zero error because indexing line is not coinciding with the vernier scale zero line. But this is a front view. If you rotate the micrometer, you can see at the back side there is a hole provided here. This hole is provided for the elimination of a zero error, and there is a special type of a spanner which comes with this device. We can put a spanner here and rotate the sleeve. We can place the spanner here and rotate the sleeve. By rotating the sleeve, we can eliminate this error. I'll repeat it again. जो हमारा वर्नियर माइक्रोमीटर है, इसमें आप देख रहे हो कि जीरो लाइन जो थिम्बल की है वो इंडेक्सिंग लाइन से कंसाइड नहीं कर रही है. हम इसे ठीक कर सकते हैं. कैसे? दिस इज द बैक साइड व्यू ऑफ दैट. देयर इज अ होल ओवर देयर. तो इसके साथ एक स्पेशल पर्पस स्पैनर है. स्पैनर को यूज करके हम इस स्केल को रोटेट कर सकते हैं. बाय रोटेटिंग दिस वी कैन एलिमिनेट दिस जीरो एरर. तो उसमें क्या होगा कि ये हमारी जो स्लीव है ये अपनी जगह से थोड़ी शिफ्ट हो जाएगी और जीरो आपस में कंसाइड होना शुरू हो जाएगा. बट वी नीड टू टेक केयर वन थिंग, that it has to be properly closed in that condition. एंगल जो है आपस में टच कर रही हो तब हमें ये करना है. ओके. Now there is a question for you. I'm going to pause the video for few seconds and please look here and try to find out the exact answer. I'm going to give you 30-40 seconds. Please look carefully and try to find out the answer. I will show you the exact answer at the end of this presentation. There are some other types of micrometers also, as shown here. It is a depth micrometer. Depth micrometer is used to measure the depth of holes and holes, slots and steps. They come in variety of interchangeable rods or different lengths so that they can be used to measure range of depths. Basically, this is a depth micrometer for the specific application of measurement of depths. In the next slide, this is an inside micrometer. Inside micrometer are used to measure the inside dimensions like the inside diameter of a hole or tube. There are the special knobs provided here. These are used for the inside measurements only. There are two types of inside micrometer: caliber type inside micrometer and tubular rod type inside micrometer. This is a caliber type instrument I was talking about. Caliber type inside micrometer has measuring jaws similar to those found on the dial caliper or vernier caliper. These jaws are similar to them, and the jaws are inserted into the spaces to be measured and adjusted by turning the thimble or retract spanner. That's it. This is all about micrometer. This is the answer to that question which I had shown you regarding a micrometer. So you have to find that answer. Its answer was 3.42 here. Now I'll show you. हमें इसकी वैल्यू पता करनी है. हमें इसमें करना क्या है, हमें मेन स्केल रीडिंग प्लस वर्नियर स्केल रीडिंग ऐड करनी थी। ये मैंने आपको क्वेश्चन दिया था जो है, वो इसी का आंसर बता रहा हूँ मैं। सो द लाइन जो जीरो ऑफ द वर्नियर स्केल हेयर इज पासिंग द 13th division of the main scale. It is 0 of the vernier scale is lying between 13 and 14. From here you will know कि your reading is between 13 and 14. It can be 13.1 mm or 13.99 mm. That you have to identify, but it is for sure that it is between 13 and 14. That's why your main scale reading here is 13. Then you have to find out the coinciding line. So here coinciding line is 21st division. This is one line past the 4. There are 5 divisions between 0 and 1, 5, 10, 15, 20. Up to 4 there are 20 divisions, and next division is coinciding with the next vernier scale division is coinciding with the main scale division. So that's why it's 21. So you are going to multiply here. So here your main scale reading is, just hold. So your main scale reading is 13. And vernier scale reading is 21, and you are going to multiply it with the least count. So your least count is 0.02, so it will be 0.42. So if you add these two, this 1 and this 2, it will be 13.42 mm. This is your answer, and this is a correct answer. Now this was the second question given to you by me. So here we have to find out the reading, okay, of a micrometer where it is logged. अब इसमें अगर देखेंगे तो जो हमारा ये मेन स्केल है, इंडेक्सिंग लाइन के ऊपर वाली जो लाइंस है 1, 2, 3 दिखाई दे रही है हमें, ठीक है। सो योर फुल रीडिंग हेयर, हमें इसमें आई हैव टोल्ड यू देयर आर होल रीडिंग्स, देयर आर हाफ रीडिंग, देयर आर वर्नियर रीडिंग, देयर आर 3 टाइप्स ऑफ रीडिंग इन अ माइक्रोमीटर. सो here our whole reading is 3. The whole reading is 3. This line is also visible to you in the half reading 4, but you don't have to consider this line. Why? आपको ये लाइन तब कंसिडर करनी है नीचे वाली अगर ये आपका थिम्बल जीरो को, थिम्बल का जो डिवीजन है जो इसके साथ मैच कर रही होती, जीरो को पास करके कर रही होती, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. उसका क्या मतलब होता है कि आपने थिम्बल को 360 डिग्री रोटेट करा, ये एडवांस हो गया 0.5. ये आपको हल्की सी दिख तो रही है, बट आपको ये कंसिडर नहीं करनी है. यू डोंट हैव टू कंसिडर दिस लाइन बिकॉज द लाइन विच इज कंसाइडिंग विद द इंडेक्सिंग लाइन इज 46th लाइन. अगर ये लाइन फर्स्ट होती, ये लाइन कंसिडर करनी होती, तब आप इस हाफ रीडिंग को भी कंसिडर करते, बट इस केस में आप नहीं करोगे. सो योर वर्नियर स्केल रीडिंग हियर इज 46. इट इज वेट एक्चुअली here it is 46. This is, so now you have to multiply this by the least count. your least count क्या था आपका 0.01. तो ये आपका कितना, इन दोनों को आप ऐड करोगे 3, just wait, इन दोनों को आप ऐड करोगे कितना आ जाएगा 3.46 mm. This is your final result here.